anytime you find some form of like fame or success,
There's a ceiling always.
and then starting back at zero, that is always the tricky part. Yeah. So the next transition was just starting back at zero and just hustling. And
I feel you so very much, man.
Yeah.
DJing in the local scene, and then to now, okay, you know what? There's a ceiling. You need to change to like content creation.
Yeah.
And it's like you
Yeah.
just start from zero, and it's like, oh.
But do you feel it's too saturated? How do you feel as a DJ?
Yeah, it is. It is super saturated. Like more and more DJs, fewer and fewer clubs.
Sure.
So sad. Not like overseas. Okay, actually, overseas is also quite jialat lah. You know, like UK. Everybody in the UK is complaining. Oh my god, all these clubs are shutting down. You know, all the legendary places. Yeah. So
Even Germany, that famous Bergheim is closing down. You know that?
Really?
There's a famous.
Oh my god, I didn't know
the
that.
papers. I think it's starting to close down.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Then like that, it's hopeless already. Berghain is like literally the final fort, you know, of clubbing.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it's
Maybe
different.
Tomorrowland, maybe
But
Ibiza.
it's not very commercial as well. It's like very
pure underground.
subcultural, niche. Yeah. Yeah, I think the
I like,
sector, there's always a sector that is high saturation, right? And very few people can discern. I think that's the part where I get a bit excited, because then that gives you the creativity to figure out what's outside of it that people are looking for.
And most people see something like saturated, they will like avoid it. But for you, it's like you go inside with the how can I revolutionize it, that kind of mindset.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I think that's how I started my experience. So through the whole realm of celebrity photography, eventually celebrities became friends. A lot of the billionaire investors, I got into that world very early. So I think that was one of the key things, because hanging out with a celeb on screen versus in-house in a couch as you're chatting with them, the persona drops.
Yeah.
Right? There's no more cameras, they don't have to.
Yeah.
So I think I've learned that very early. And then when the investors, the money came, I sort of, because I was never as big as them, right? So most of the time I was just like, okay, let other people do the talking. I just noticed. So one of the things I noticed was just different people of different wealth level, how they behave, what they're looking for. So at that point in time, I never knew it was going to become useful, helpful, right? But later on, as I started to design these experiences, that became really key. Because when you design experiences, you need to understand what the different levels are looking for, what they can access, what is norm and what is special.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So I think that's, if I have any one superpower, that's been my superpower.
Identify what does extraordinary looks like. Yeah. I think also another very key point is that I feel like I'm personally very driven. I think you are extremely driven as well. And with very driven people comes the weakness of ego,
Sure.
We work so hard to get to where we are, right? And obviously we have some ego. But then the thing is, like, you live in the world of VIPs, that means like the ultra rich, the ultra good looking, ultra, I don't know, successful.
Sure. Yeah.
How do you like, I mean, in order to serve them, you literally need to have no ego,
Yeah.
How the hell is that even possible?
I think two things. I think really one part is, I think with that whole exposure to the celebrity part, you realize at the end of the day, everyone's just human.
Yes.
So I think my trick when dealing with big talents is, don't put them on a pedestal. Treat them as a human being.
Yep.
Everyone, you've been around celebs as well, the whole culture.
Yep.
Everyone panders to what they're looking for. If you're the guy that's just like, okay, forget all this, I'm just going to treat you as a human being. Hey, what's up? Hi. Oh, remember what happened outside?
Refreshing for them.
Suddenly they're like, it's very refreshing, and then they take notice. And then they're a little bit more grounded with you, because now they know you're grounded as well. Right? So I think that's the first part.